Hey guys, this week for Weapons Wednesday, we're looking at some of the more unique weapons we have on the KarateMart.com website. But before we begin, if you could just like this video and subscribe to our channel, that would be awesome. So last week, I showed off some of the most popular items on the KarateMart.com website. And then I asked you to go to the community tab and vote for which one you liked best. And there were some really cool weapons too, like the spiked tonfa. I absolutely love them. I think they're so cool. But you guys went to the community tab and chose the traditional hand-forged katana. What an excellent choice, guys. I absolutely love this katana. I love the fact that it has authentic ray skin and that hamon line is absolutely beautiful. So good choice. So this week, I asked Amanda to go back into the warehouse and look for some of our most unique weapons for me to show off today. So make sure, as usual, to go to the community tab and vote for which one you like best. And there are links to all the items in the description of the video. So without further ado, Amanda, what is our first item?
Here you go.
Awesome, thank you so much. All right, let's see what this is. Okay, and our first item is the brass two-finger knuckles. Oh, very cool. Oh wow, look at these. These are cool, I like these. I like the look of them. First off, I really like the beveled points on the end. I think that's so cool. You can see it's got this little spade in the center of it. Amanda actually says that this looks like a mushroom, but I don't know, what do you guys think? Do you think that looks like a spade or a mushroom? I'm not really sure. Either way, it's kind of cool. I like the fact that it's got that in it because it takes a little bit of weight off of these. So that's pretty cool. And then if we look at the design too, you can see that the palm grip is fairly large here, but it's got these holes in here. And what's unique about that is we could actually use it as a bottle opener if we wanted to. So I think that's kind of cool in itself. Pretty neat. Let's see how comfortable this is though. Okay, that's actually really comfortable. Sometimes the holes are just spread apart a little bit too much, so it's not comfortable. This one actually feels just about perfect, so I think that's pretty cool. One thing I like to mention when we're talking about knuckle dusters though is depending on the type of knuckle duster we're looking at and the size of your hand, it's important to kind of test it out in a couple different ways to make sure you don't hurt yourself when using them. Because if you use them the wrong way, you can actually break your fingers, you can hurt your wrist, and there's two ways that people generally hold them. Sometimes they'll hold them kind of higher up on their knuckles and then they'll strike with it like a punch, and then sometimes they'll kind of put them on this section of the knuckle and swipe with them. So these guys, because of the size of the palm grip and because of the size of my hand, they feel fairly comfortable like this. Let's just test that out really quick. Okay, that actually hurt. That actually hurt right in here because it's not set up right for me with that. So if I bring them up a little bit on my knuckles like this and swipe with them, let's test that out. Oh yeah, see that's not hurting my hand at all, and I'm getting a fair amount of momentum with that. So this type of knuckle duster for my hand size actually works better in a swiping motion. So I think that's pretty cool, but it's important whenever you buy any knuckle duster, test it out both ways really lightly on something soft, like a punching bag or something, just to make sure you don't hurt yourself. Very important. And then also the other thing I like to mention with knuckle dusters is check your local laws, because the laws are very strict on things like knuckle dusters, so definitely check your local laws just to make sure you're not doing anything wrong. So it looks like this is made out of solid brass, and then it's got a really nice polished finish to it. So I like that a lot. They weigh about 4.6 ounces. So as far as weight goes, that's pretty comfortable. That's not so heavy. That's fairly light. I actually like it. I think it feels pretty good. The length is approximately 3 inches, and the width is approximately 2.5 inches, and the thickness is about 5/16 inches. So, I mean, that's pretty good. I like the dimensions of this knuckle duster. I think it's comfortable. I wouldn't want it to be a ton thicker because it's so thin, it fits in my pocket nicely, very concealed. I actually like that a lot. I don't think there's anything else for me to really say about this, so I'm going to go ahead and put this away, and let's move on to our next item. All right, Amanda, what do you have next for me?
There you go.
Awesome, thank you. All right, let's see what we have here. Oh, cool, cool. I love these. These are so neat. So our next item is the Railroad Spike Fist Blade. Awesome, awesome. Oh, wow. Look at that. That is pretty cool. I like the shape. So first off, you can tell that this is an authentic leather sheath. So that's pretty nice. I actually like that. It feels like a good quality sheath. Looks nice, looks really nice. The only thing I don't like about it is I don't see any belt loop on there at all. So I guess this would just be to protect the blade, but not really to help you wear it in any way. Still looks pretty nice though. The blade itself, this is a very interesting, unique looking blade. I actually like this a lot. So this is made out of one of those carbon steel railroad spikes. It's kind of neat. We've shown off a knife like this in the past, but I actually really like it. They take a railroad spike and they hammer it down and then they forge it into a unique looking knife. So this is a unique design on this. It's definitely sharp. The tip isn't overly sharp though. I guess if I were to buy this, I would probably sharpen up the blade a little bit and definitely sharpen up that tip. The top of it is cool though. I like how this area up here could actually be used for non-lethal defensive purposes. So I think that's pretty cool. You could actually strike the bottom of someone's chin with it. Oh yeah, that would hurt pretty bad for sure. And then the handle itself has this really heavy duty pommel to it. So you could use that for non-lethal defensive purposes too. I think that's pretty neat. As far as comfort goes, this thing's fairly comfortable. I wish there was some jimping up here for forward grip. That would allow me to have a little bit more control with it. Let's just see how it strikes on here. I'll just use the arm of the Wing Chun dummy. Oh wow, yeah, that just dug in really nicely and it felt really comfortable on my hand. Like I actually could get a lot of momentum in my swing with this thing. So I think that's pretty cool. Let's throw it into reverse grip and see how that feels. Oh, I kind of like that. I actually like that a lot. So in reverse grip, I've got this area up here that my thumb sits on really nicely. I could have a lot of control with this. I think that's pretty cool. Let's test that out too. Yeah, I mean, fairly comfortable. I actually think it was more comfortable. Yeah, it was more comfortable in forward grip, actually. So you could use it both ways. I think forward grip is the way it's meant to be used. Very cool though. So it looks like the total length of this knife is approximately 6 inches, and the sharpened area of the blade goes to about here. So that's about 5 inches of blade there. The width is about 3 1/8 inches. And the weight is approximately 11.5 ounces. So that's a pretty good weight on this thing. It's a little heavy, but not so heavy that it's difficult to control. I actually like this a lot. I'm gonna give this thing a good strike just to feel how comfortable it is. Oh, wow. You can see that it dug into the blade about that far. Very easy to control knife. I actually like this a lot. I think it's pretty darn cool and just such a unique looking blade. So very cool. But let's go ahead and put this away and move on to our next weapon. All right, Amanda, what's our next item?
Here you go.
Thank you. Ooh, a nice big one. All right, let's see what this guy is. Oh, cool. All right, so our next item is the Modern Combat Scimitar. Very cool. Ooh, this is pretty nice. All right, so first off, we can see that it's got this really nice heavy-duty nylon sheath. So I like that a lot. I think it's pretty cool. I like how there's a zipper on this thing, and then also it's got a shoulder strap on it. The case is very heavy-duty. The shoulder strap is a little bit lacking. I wish it was a little more heavy-duty, but still, not bad. I like the fact that it does have a shoulder strap. So yeah, let's open this up and check out the blade itself. Oh wow, okay. So we showed off a scimitar a few weeks ago called the Combat Steel Scimitar. And that one was a little bit nicer, but this one's still pretty cool. I like the fact that the handle on this thing is so slim that I can control it really, really well. So that's pretty cool. Now the blade itself is made out of a stainless steel, which stainless steel is definitely not my favorite. And then this one's a very slim stainless steel too, so I don't know how well that's going to hold up. We'll definitely have to test it out a little bit. I do like the fact that it is full tang. We can see how the stainless steel goes all the way through the handle. And I actually like how the black packawood complements the stainless steel around the handle. That looks really nice. And then you can see these little pins that go through the handle and through the stainless steel. So that all looks really good as far as contrast goes. So that's pretty nice. The handguard itself feels like it's a fairly solid stainless steel as well. So that's nice. The blade is sharp. The tip is sharp. We can also see that there's a false edge on the top. So you could sharpen that up if you wanted to bring it to a belt sander or something. Stainless steel is not the easiest to sharpen, so I would probably leave it alone. But yeah, I mean, overall, for a very inexpensive scimitar, this is pretty nice, but I think we've got to really test it out a little bit. I'm gonna strike the Wing Chun dummy just a little bit to see how this holds up. Okay, so you can actually see where it actually stuck into the arm of the Wing Chun dummy. It didn't mess up the blade at all. The blade is still in really good shape. I don't see any problems with the blade. I think this will hold up for you pretty well. And if we look at the arm of the Wing Chun dummy, it actually sliced into this very far. So that's pretty impressive considering this is just a stainless steel scimitar. So the total length is approximately 25 inches, the blade length is about 17.5 inches, and the total weight is about 1 pound 4 ounces. So as far as a scimitar goes, that's extremely light. So I actually like that. I have good control of this sword. I think it's pretty cool, but I think that's all I have to say about it. So let's go ahead and put this away and move on to our next weapon. All right, Amanda, what do you got next for me?
There you go.
Thank you. All right, let's see what this is. Oh, cool, we got a couple different things in here. All right, so we have first off the Arrowhead throwing star set, which appears to be a 6-point throwing star set. And then we also have the multicolor Arrowhead ninja stars, which appears to be 4-point ninja stars. So let's start with the Arrowhead throwing star set. Oh wow, okay, that's pretty neat. So if we take a look at these, we can see that they are anodized very brightly, very metallic blue look on this thing. So I actually like that. I like when they do these really bright colors on the throwing stars, because if you're throwing them out in the woods or something, so easy to find colors like this. So it looks like we've got a blue one, a red one, and then we've got a titanium finish one, which gives it that nice rainbow color to it. So one thing that's kind of interesting is if we look at these, we can see that the symbol in the center of them is some sort of dragon or kanji symbol. I don't know what that stands for. I honestly have no idea. So I'm just going to put this on the camera, and if any of you have any idea what that kanji symbol stands for, definitely let me know in the comments. That would be really interesting to know. So you can tell on these throwing stars that they actually have this arrowhead design to them. When it comes to throwing stars, the arrowhead design is actually really, really nice. They stick beautifully, and then if they enter into their target, they don't come out easily because they've got those little barbs there. So I actually really like arrowhead throwing stars. I think they're pretty awesome. And then also the fact that these are 6-point stars makes them really easy to strike their target as well. They feel fairly heavy, which I generally prefer a heavier throwing star. The weight of each star is approximately 2.4 ounces. So that's a really nice weight for stars. I actually like that a lot. And then the diameter of each star is approximately 4 inches. So these throwing stars are made from a 3CR13 stainless steel, which is not my favorite steel, but is very common when it comes to throwing stars. So it doesn't bother me at all. And then they come with this really nice heavy duty nylon case. So I actually like that a lot. It's got the little belt loop on it. Very cool. But let's go ahead and look at the other throwing star set we have. Okay, so the other throwing star set we have is called the Multicolor Arrowhead Ninja Stars. So let's take a look at these. Oh wow, okay, so they've got that same anodization, which I really like, that really bright metallic blue color on that one. And then this guy has a nice titanium finish to it, so that's nice. And then this guy has the red finish as well. So that's pretty cool. I like that a lot. Oh, and then there's a 4 in this set. In the first set there were 3 stars. In this set there's 4. So this one has a black finish, which is a little more stealthy. Black throwing stars are cool in the stealthy sense, but they're not good in the sense that if you're throwing them in the woods, they can be very easy to lose. But with how the edges are sharpened and you can see that they are a metallic silver, I don't think that would be difficult to find at all if you threw it in the woods. It's actually pretty cool. So these also have that arrowhead design to them. The barbs aren't quite as prominent on these guys, but I have a feeling they're going to stick really nicely. The points aren't overly sharp. The blades are fairly sharp on it. The weight is a little bit less than the other ones. These are approximately 1.3 ounces each, which is a fairly good weight for a throwing star, but I do like my throwing stars generally to be a little bit heavier than this, but I have a feeling these are going to stick really nicely as well. So these guys are made out of a stainless steel. I don't know what type of stainless steel, but again, for throwing stars, it's very common to see them made out of a stainless steel, so that doesn't bother me at all. So obviously these throwing stars have 4 points to them, which is pretty good. I mean, when you're throwing stars, I generally prefer 5 points, 6 points, 7 points. 4 point works pretty nicely as well, but these have a pretty nice diameter to them. They have a diameter of approximately 3 3/4 inches, which is pretty good for throwing. And they also come with this really nice black nylon case, which has a belt loop on it. So pretty cool. But there's not much else I really need to say about these, so let's go ahead and put these away and move on to our next item. All right, Amanda, what do you have next for me?
There you go.
Thank you. All right, let's see what this is. All right, so our next weapon is the ringed Seax knife. Very cool. Ooh, that's nice. I actually like that a lot. So first off, I can tell that this is a handmade knife. So that's really nice. I love handmade weapons. But one thing you have to note about them is that they're going to be just slightly different. The blade's going to be slightly different on each one. The handle might be slightly different on each one. And even the leather sheath might be slightly different on each one. But this one looks really nice. It's definitely a heavy duty leather sheath. So I like that a lot. Got a belt loop on it. Very cool. And for those of you who don't know, a Seax knife was commonly carried by the Saxons during the early to Middle Ages. So that would be like the Anglo-Saxons might have carried them during the Viking era. So very cool to note that. In fact, Seax actually means knife in Old English, so that's kind of a fun fact. But in addition to being a weapon, a Seax knife was also commonly used for hunting and cooking. So kind of a utility purpose knife at the same time. But to me, the most unique thing about this specific Seax knife is this ring on the pommel down there. You don't see that very often on a Seax knife. I think that's pretty cool, kind of a modern take on a Seax knife. Pretty awesome. It's very comfortable in my hand. And if we look at the blade, we can tell that this blade is made out of a carbon steel, and it's got this hammered pattern on top and this charcoal finish to it. So that looks very cool. The blade itself is very sharp blade, and the tip is extremely sharp, so I like that a lot. The ring on the pommel, that's comfortable. That's definitely comfortable. The ring diameter is about 7/8 inches, so for me that actually fits my finger really nicely. If you've got massive hands though, that might not fit your finger very nicely, but for me, you can see that that actually has enough space in there to be comfortable, and I've got fairly large hands too, so I actually like that. And then if we look at the ring on the pommel, it's rounded down here, but it's got this kind of squared side to it. So what that does is that actually allows me to have really good control in reverse grip. So I like that a lot. I can just kind of tuck my thumb in there and I've got really good control with it. In extended grip, that's fairly comfortable, but because of the shape of this knife and then this rounded area over here, I probably wouldn't recommend it in extended grip. This is definitely meant more for reverse grip or even forward grip. Oh yeah, in forward grip it's very comfortable. I kind of wish there was some jimping up here just for added control, but I actually think this is a very comfortable knife. I have very good control with it, so that's really nice. So if we look at the handle of this knife, we can see that it's got this wooden handle going around the blade. So we can tell that the blade is full tang going all the way through the handle. And I don't know what type of wood this is, but it feels like it's a little better quality than the standard pack of wood you see on a lot of knives. This actually feels pretty good, and it's a really beefy handle too, so I've got really good control with that. Feels comfortable in my hand. I like it a lot. So the overall length of this knife is approximately 9.5 inches. The blade length is approximately 4.5 inches, and the total weight is approximately 6.8 ounces. So I absolutely love the weight of this knife. I have very good control, and then the fact that it's got this tip up here that's kind of sharpened right there, I have a feeling it's going to be very good for slicing. So let's actually get out a little piece of fabric and try slicing with it. All right, I got this little piece of fabric under here. I'm just going to hang it over the Wing Chun dummy. I'm just going to slice it with that edge right there. I have a feeling it's going to be really easy to slice with. Oh yeah, I don't know if you guys can see that, but that just sliced through all those layers of fabric like nothing. So I absolutely love the design of this blade. I think it's really cool. And I don't think there's anything else to really say about this. So make sure you guys go to the community tab and vote for which weapon you like best this week. But if you have any questions on this or any of the other weapons I showed off in this video, definitely leave them in the comments below. Make sure you like this video and subscribe to our channel, and check out KarateMart.com because we've got all sorts of really cool weapons on there right now. But until next week, we'll see you Weapons Wednesday.